If you've ever wished for an Excel function that uses natural language to help you summarize and cleanse data, then the Copilot function is the one you've been waiting for. It lets you embed those natural language prompts directly into Excel cells, connects to Microsoft's Copilot AI, and responds based on those instructions and the data that you reference. I'm not going to talk about how to use the Copilot function. There are already lots of great videos out there explaining how to use this amazing function. Instead, I'd like to talk about some of the limitations that you should consider when using Copilot in your Excel workbooks. The Copilot function isn't currently available to all Excel users, so there's a problem straight away if you need to share a workbook with others. Even when it is available to all Excel users, it isn't free to use. Business and enterprise users require a Microsoft 365 Copilot plan, whereas home and family users require a Copilot Pro plan. Whilst the uptake of such licenses will increase over time, and they may eventually get rolled into core product licenses to standardize the functionality, for now you need to ensure that all users who need access to a Copilot enabled file have the ability to use it. At the time of recording, Microsoft's support website states that Excel can calculate up to 100 Copilot functions every 10 minutes. And user experiences show that referencing more than a couple of hundred cells in a formula can degrade performance and accuracy. Copilot does only process the cells explicitly referred to in the formula. It doesn't scan the whole workbook for additional context. By keeping cell ranges small and the number of Copilot formula in a workbook to a minimum, these limits shouldn't be an issue, and you'd expect these limits to rise over time. Also be aware that the function cannot calculate in workbooks labelled confidential or highly confidential. Thanks for watching this far, and if you're finding it useful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. AI tools can return inaccurate results because of training data limitations and biases, poor pattern matching generating plausible but factually wrong answers, vague prompts, and overgeneralized responses. Copilot is not immune to these issues, and as its large language models improve, there may also be variations in the answers to your questions. These variations should improve the quality of responses over time, but take this into consideration when encoding questions into workbooks, and consider asking the function to return a confidence rating for its answers. Avoid using Copilot for output in models that have legal, regulatory, or compliance implications, which brings us on to our next point. Don't use Copilot where Excel has an existing validated mathematical or logical function that will return consistent results. It's great for interpreting unstructured data such as text to categorize responses or cleanse data. Don't use it to calculate figures in financial statements. You also don't want to use it excessively to return results when other formula will suffice because of the rate limits on the Copilot formula. Use it sparingly where it can add the most value. The Copilot function is Excel specific, so doesn't work in other spreadsheet products. Google Sheets has a similar function, but even if the differing products found a way to adopt each other's functions, this would likely require users to have additional subscriptions. If they instead chose to process the different formula versions with their own AI engine, you would have to anticipate the potential for differing answers depending on which program was running the workbook. With all of these limitations in mind, what are the best use cases for Copilot? Use it in workbooks where you'll be the only user, or where you can be certain that all users will have access to Copilot's functionality. Limit its use to workbooks where its processing functionality can be used sparingly to interpret unstructured data. Don't use Copilot to replicate existing functions. If you're unsure how to best approach designing a formula, other AI tools, including Excel's new agent mode, can help. Spend some time structuring prompts to return appropriate responses, perhaps testing multiple prompts and assessing confidence intervals on the answers. Don't use it to do numerical analysis, and avoid it in workbooks for legal, regulatory, or compliance situations. I hope that by following these guidelines, you find ways for Copilot to add real value to your workbooks. Please share those success stories in the comments, and thanks for watching.